Hi guys, this is Chad McKinney with POS-FISHING, and in our last video we talked about the process of making the lure, processing the molds, and processing the plastic, and just shaping up and getting our 6-inch finesse worm, which is a star lure for our brand POS-FISHING. So today we're going to talk about maybe a couple ways you can rig up this lure, and we're just gonna do a little step through how to rig this lure up. You can fish the 6-inch finesse worm with weights. You can fish it drop shot. You can fish a Texas rig. You can fish a wacky rig. There's multiple ways you can fish it, but me personally, I've tried to focus on weightless, and I try to focus on Texas, and definitely wacky rig for these finesse rigs, but only because I haven't really tried to drop shot at all with anything. So let's get started. Here's some hooks you can use. These are 2/0. The only reason I buy 2/0 is because I like to fish weightless, which means I don't need too much drop, and I also need them to kind of take the worm with them so I can watch my line, you know. And another hook style is another way that is a new way that I've been using is called the shaky heads. You can see them right there. Called shaky heads, and what this does is you hook this into the worm like you would a Texas rig, and what it does is it keeps that weight on the bottom, and that hook just floats right up, and that tail just wiggles and daggles, and fish love the action. I'm gonna go ahead and grab a hook and a couple of worms. Now I have a couple worms for tomorrow. We're doing a reject worm challenge. So these are all of the lures that didn't really make the cut in my eyes. So see, as you can tell, here's it going. Got cracks in it, you know. It's not really the best made, you know, but we're gonna fish them. And I got a whole bunch of them. So you kind of see all the colors in there. But I'm gonna hook up one of these. This personally is a color that always works for me, and that's this brown and red sparkle black flake. A lot of people don't like to call this brown. I call it brown, but you know, it could be watermelon brown, whatever you want to call it. So here's how you get your hook out. Now let's say I do it weightless. I'll do another video tomorrow showing Texas rig, but we'll do weightless and wacky rig tonight, and we'll do shaky head. So what you're gonna want to do is take your worm. Got hair all alright, but take your worm. So you notice these hooks have a flat. That's kind of like it's gonna be like your telltale. All right. So you want to go through the bottom. You want the bottom facing your right hand, facing the hook. Just go right there, barely there. And just take it, push it all the way up. Push it all the way to that eye. And I've seen people, man, push this eye. I've seen people fish this eye completely invisible. So you can fish it invisible, you can fish it visible. And then you just kind of want to go about the hook's way down, maybe give it a little pinch up. And there you go. Best way to fish that finesse worm right there. Fix it. There we go. And what it essentially does is it kind of just cruises through the water. How you want to fish it really is just it's just going to be free falling. You're just going to want to let it fall, flip it back up. That's all you're going to want to do with that one. Alright, now on to the shaky head, which is a little bit the slimmer bit of a hook style. There you go. And what it does is, you see that flat top? What it does is just sits there. Perfect. So if it can sit on my hand, it can basically sit anywhere. And what you're going to do is you're going to want to barely keep that line tight. And watch that worm sit up here. Barely keep that line tight. Pop it. Pop it. But here's how we're going to hook it up. You're going to hook it up the same way as the Texas. We're just going to take one of our worms here. Let's do this pink rejig. That's what I mean by rejig. I got all the way down except for the tail. But still, good color combo. White on bottom, pink on top. So we're just going to take it. Go straight through the top. Barely come out. Twist it around. This one's got a little hook in there to help it stay in place. Then you just barely tap that through there. And there you go. Oh, but dropped it. There's your Texas worm. And I mean, you can do this. I've seen a lot of people do that and make it weightless. Weedless, it don't matter. You can fish it just like that. It's gonna stay up. As long as you know where you're fishing, you'll be alright. Alright, on to the Wacky Wig, which is honestly my most successful setup in my beginning years when I first started bass fishing. Essentially, you just take this worm. It's kind of like a gold orange worm we made. You just take it. You can hook it multiple different ways. I've seen people use O-rings. I've seen people use O-rings to get these done. So you kind of just take it, even out the worm, and I kind of just go right through the top, right on that edge. And when it sits, it's kind of just, it's gonna flow very slow. You know, it's gonna flow very slow. So you can add nail weights to maybe give it weight, but it's gonna flow very slow. But what you're gonna do is you're just gonna float it down, twitch it, twitch it, twitch it, twitch it. That's all you're really gonna do. It's kind of a boring way to fish, but the blow ups can be insane. You can fish it top water. You can fish it. You can let it sink. You can let it fall. You can fish it a million different ways, and you're always gonna catch fish, no matter where you go. With these 3 setups, you're always gonna catch fish. But that's enough for me today. This is a quick little video about 3 setups that you could do on the finesse worm, which is our star worm, our star lure. So just subscribe and drop a like, and maybe even a comment if you know any way that you can fish it better. All right, thank you.